Well, I can tell you one thing. I didn't have to wear these stupid glasses not to see the eclipse. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the show. I am Steve Van Dam on your screen again, and thanks for stopping in. And I apologize I didn't put out a video yesterday like I do. My day is Monday, but I wanted to wait until some of the reactions from the eclipse situation filtered on in. And I'll tell you, from my end, it was nothing but a disappointment. Nothing but a colossal disappointment. I wanted to go to this place. There's a little graveyard in the middle of the woods in State College, Penn State, if you don't know. And it's a little graveyard. Like, you go up in the woods and this big field opens up. I'm like, boy, this would be interesting to go see it there. And it's a maintained graveyard. It's like the Benner family. I'm sure there's some other last names in there, but that was a very prominent name. And these graves are from like the 1700s and 1800s. And there's like this really old, like 300 maybe more stone wall around it. These stone stairs that go up and down into it, and it's still maintained to this day. It's maybe by 30 feet by 30 feet. It's in the middle of the woods, but it gets wide open to a field, so you'll be able to see the sky. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna go watch this eclipse in this little graveyard. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea. I just thought it sounded cool, and it's also in the middle of nowhere. Well, start driving, and clouds just start rolling in. And they didn't even look real. They look like waves. And I'm saying it right away. I'm like, these are not real clouds. These clouds do not look normal. Here they come. Then it starts sprinkling. And the whole time, just like, no way. Sure enough, even walking up into those woods, it starts sprinkling. It's kind of raining a little bit hard. You couldn't see nothing. I didn't even bother recording anything or putting those glasses on. You couldn't see anything. I didn't even know it was happening. I knew it was the time, but I didn't know it was happening. And then for one split second, there was a little crack in the cloud, and I saw it. It was right when it was supposed to be happening. It was all the way covered, and it maybe not even a full second. And that was it. That's all I got out of it. But here goes all types of reactions to it. People that saw it, people that didn't see it, people that think it got covered up by somebody, which was I was thinking, somebody, you know who, which is what I thought right away. You know, some naysayers, this, that, all types of thoughts, theories, and opinions on the aftermath of Eclipse 2024. Oh, and the first one, the biggest conspiracy theorist of all, I'm sure you heard it. That lady from The View, Sunny Histon. Is that her name? Whatever her damn name is. Sunny something. Ironic her name's Sunny because she is surely not that bright. I'll give you my opinion on that conspiracy that she threw out there. And a ton more after that. Sub on up, buckle on up, let's roll that footage.
Leaving, we've got a solar eclipse, we've got the earthquake, she ran down the hallway.
The rapture is here.
The rapture's here, and then also I learned that the cicadas are coming.
Cicadas.
For the first time in like
No.
100 years.
No.
Two different, well, this is what I read. Two different times.
Two different kinds of cicadas.
Yes, two different times are coming.
The good cicadas and the bad
But
cicadas.
for the first time in many years.
No, every 17 years this happens.
Well, that's not what I read, but maybe you know, maybe
well,
you know better. But
in a way,
say all those things together would maybe lead one to believe that, you know, either climate change exists,
That's more
or
the
something
point.
is really
Except
going
Earth is
on.
returning. Earthquakes are not at the mercy of climate change. It's underground.
It happens,
How about the warming of the
and
planet?
the eclipse, they've known about the eclipse coming because eclipses happen.
Leaving, we've got a solar eclipse, we've got the earthquake.
This is what I know. If Joy Behar disagrees with you and you're on her side, you must be saying something pretty damn crazy, right? And thank you for Whoopi Goldberg being the voice of reason. These people will just say anything that'll toe the line of this certain agenda. I mean, are these not the real conspiracy theorists? That is a crazy conspiracy to theorize about. An eclipse is due to climate change. And the wild part is, if she got away with saying that, the people that actually listen to these people, which can't be that many, will eat it up and think, yeah, exactly, that shouldn't even happen. And probably the only people that watch these people and take them serious are a few Stepford wives, like middle class or upper middle class housewives that sit in this little bubble, and then they'll sit around each other and, you know, like cackle about it. Yeah, you know, and they don't realize that, I swear, the function of The View, or most of the views of The View, I'd say the function is to keep those couple idiots brainwashed. The couple idiots that just listen to that, keep them brainwashed. And then most of their views are people that watch them to make fun of them on YouTube. But the people that live in that bubble will never know that because they don't look, because they're not going to get their information from YouTubers. And then here we are. They're making millions of dollars to be conspiracy theorists and drive people like me nuts. What a world.
Bro, you can look at the sun during the solar eclipse. It's like every day it's a new theory with conspiracy theorists. Now I'm gonna go blind if I look at the sun. Am I gonna gain superpowers too? Can I fly? So when the solar eclipse was happening, they told me I need some glasses. Look at these 3D movie glasses that they're telling is gonna make a drastic difference if you look at the sun. If nobody was gonna risk it, I have nothing to lose. I decided I'm gonna look at the sun during the solar eclipse. But I'll be real, since they said you can't look at the sun with your eyes, I grabbed my phone and I placed it up like this on the back camera, and I watched the solar eclipse through my phone. You can't cap. That's a 200 IQ play. I already have glasses. I'm damn near 50% blind already. I take my glasses off, everything looks blurry. So we're gonna see if I can wake up tomorrow alive after staring at this solar eclipse. Imagine you a homeless person on this day. Don't look at the solar eclipse. Who gonna tell the homeless person? Only thing they speak is fentanyl. So me or the hobo on the street gonna be blind tomorrow.
What the hell is this guy even talking about? So to wear the glasses, you're a conspiracy theorist now? Does he not realize, I'll assume he must not realize, that that's the authoritative news, the scientific response is you can't look at it, which has been said for kind of ever, so I'm not sure who this guy's mad at. But he had a pair of those big stupid red rubber boots in his background in his closet there. So I'll just assume he's an idiot, because only an idiot would wear those stupid fucking boots. Moving on.
Tell me what's going on with the shadows. Do you see our shadows on the ground here in front of us? Look, they're also behind us, way darker. And look where the sun is, it's in front of us. So how do we have two shadows? This one and this one. This makes no sense. Can anyone explain? This is during the eclipse.
Ooh, put some socks on, or shoes.
With the solar eclipse. Anyway, look at this. This is what I got through the glasses that they gave my son from the school. Cool. And look at these shadows. They were half moons.
I have seen a lot of weird shadows. You maybe did too. It's probably because it's partially covering, so it makes little circles.
We got a partial, but somebody please explain the shadow.
Well, as far as the shadows being in the front and back, it's quite simple. So when you have the sun over here and then the moon cutting across the sky over on this side, you're going to have the sun reflecting off the moon. So you'll have your initial primary shadow from the sun, as it always would be. But now, since the moon is getting closer, you're also going to have the sun reflecting some light from the moon, which will give you a smaller and less dense or less thick shadow in the front of you. That's how that works. Now, I also just made that whole fucking thing up, and I have no idea if that's true. But actually, it does make sense now that I think about it, but it is a little weird. I'm sure it's not that crazy. It's probably some reflection. Maybe the sun's reflecting off her house, and it's double shadow, and maybe she's a two-spirit, so she gets two shadows.
Just coming to check on the eclipse conspiracy people. Y'all all right? Anybody get zapped through a portal? Y'all over on that old people's app? Making a lot of noise about stuff that doesn't happen because it's a basic scientific phenomena. We all still here? We all still good? We're all still surrounded by the same problems that we had earlier today? Okay, good. All right.
And there's also a lot of that floating around. These are the worst kind of the people. I don't think most people were convinced that something horrible is going to happen. But to talk about the possibilities is extremely reasonable. you know, there's a lot of things going on. There's sun flares, and there's, you know, these grid things that everyone keeps talking about, and, you know, the CERN thing and this and that. So to talk about the possibilities of what could, most likely nothing, but to talk about the possibilities does not make you crazy. But apparently people like this think there's a hard line between having a conversation than believing something. But apparently to people like this, it's way smarter just to believe the people that have lied over and over and over and over and been wrong over and over and over and had to backtrack over and over and over. Like the government, like scientists, like whoever controls the world, like the media. So, okay, yeah, nothing happened. Cool. It doesn't mean it's insane to talk about it. Now, if you were hardline convinced, yes, the world's ending because of this eclipse, well, you need to reel it in a little bit. But to be so convinced that nothing possibly could happen is a little crazy as well. That's all I'm saying. They're, you know, both extremes are kind of dumb.
If the eclipse is right here,
Yeah.
then why is the moon over there?
Oh, wait.
What?
How does that happen?
Because we're in the middle.
But look, the moon is right there in front of the sun.
Wait,
But the
game
moon is over here.
cards.
Why is the moon right there if it's supposed to be in front of the sun? Here, I'm using these right here.
That's insane.
Do you see that? If the moon is right there in front of the sun,
You said
then
this.
why is it over there?
Why aren't you got both up at once?
I'm gonna Google that. That can't be, or the flat, I don't know, are the flat earthers right?
Maybe it is flat. It's a conspiracy, dude.
We're all gonna be zombies then. We all took that courage off me. This eclipse is gonna first.
Well, you gotta admit that's a little bit weird. I don't know. What do you think? Real or fake? Now, where I was at, totally covered in clouds. Couldn't see. You didn't even know what was going on. But then, once it was like over, because like I said, I caught a glimpse for like a millisecond. And once it was over, some clouds started to break up in a spot, and I swore I could see the moon moving some, and then it disappeared. And then all of a sudden I seen it in like an entirely different spot, but like it would have been the other way. Like it'd have been here going one way. Then all of a sudden, oh, maybe I didn't see it's over there. Or maybe it was the sun that was in two different spots. One of the two. One, like, I'm like, oh yeah, no, that's right there. I can see it. Then all of a sudden it was somewhere else, but there were so many clouds, it was hard to tell what's what. But I did for a split second think, wait a minute, that was just there. How would it be over there? I mean, I understand it was moving, but it wouldn't have been moving that way. If that made any sense, well, I'm glad. I'm glad it did. But it's kind of what that guy's saying. Like, if that's there, why is that there? But, you know, with all the clouds, if they were clouds, if they even were clouds, something was up, bro. That's what I'm saying.
What did my husband catch while zoomed in?
The craziest part about this, how was this part one? What does part two bring us? You're gonna have it captured in a cage? I'm guessing no. That's like a 6-second video. You needed a part two to that? You could have just wrapped that all in together. It wasn't a dragon. Or maybe it was. I don't think it was a dragon. If you guys think it was a dragon, please let me know. I'm guessing, call me crazy, bird. If I had to guess, it was a bird. If not, definitely dragon. But I'm going bird. Safe bet, bird.
This is so cool. What's that? What is that? Back up.
Okay.
This is so
Plot.
cool. What's that? What is that? Back up. This is so cool. What's that? What is that?
Okay, about that dragon. What the fuck? That was a plane. That was wild. I'm going plane on this one. I'm going plane. And I did hear a lot of planes in the air, which I thought was weird. You would think, or I would think, I don't know, if I was a pilot or even an airline company, I'm like, well, this is going on. We're just going to not be flying right now. We're going to be down nationwide for yeah, it's a couple minutes. I mean, you have to schedule the whole day around it and maybe even a month realistically, but you know what? For this little time slot, we're just going to go ahead and be down. That's how we're going to do it. But I heard a ton of planes. Now, I was kind of near an airport, but it seemed like a lot of planes. I don't know. Probably, you know, I'm not overthinking it like there's something was up, but I don't know if it was or wasn't. Was that too fast for a plane? I'm going plane just because, you know.
The lies of the solar eclipse are exposed. Tons of people on YouTube and TikTok were pushing fear for a paycheck so they can get paid from YouTube and TikTok. Lies to the American people. Wow.
In all fairness, a lot of people lying don't get paid anything. So let's not jump out the window on that one, Chief.
Raking in thousands of followers from slave-minded humans in America that will believe anything no matter what someone says. And I tell you nothing was going to happen?
Wouldn't that be if you believe the media blindly? This guy's kind of all over the map. Like I agree with him in some spots, which we'll get to, but...
What happened to the fact that it was an X over Texas and that it was going to be big shootouts in Texas? Many people in Texas were supposed to pass away. What happened to the fact that you shouldn't be at large gatherings because there's possibly a bomb that was going to go off? People were going to be staring to the sky and their eyes are going to turn big and black. What happened to the fact that there were supposed to be earthquakes that came from Texas all the way up to New York or Maine or something like that? There was supposed to be a river that just came out of nowhere from Texas all the way up to Maine. You know, I can expect this from weak men because weak...
As many conspiracies I look into, and now making these videos, I'm digging for them. I never heard any of that shit. Like, you know, there may be some demons in a portal, and they're like, some things you take in jest, but there was a river appearing? I missed that one. Earthquakes all the way from Texas to wherever? Missed that one. Like, who's this guy listening to? Where do these people come up with this shit? I feel like they probably listen to the mainstream news, and mainstream news says things like, oh yeah, people online are saying this, that, and that. So they think people are saying this, that, and that. But in reality, no one's saying any of that shit. I didn't hear it, and I was digging for conspiracies around this. All those eluded me.
Men will do anything for a paycheck to survive because they can't make money and they'll do anything for money. All of you people out there,
what are they, hookers?
You actually believed any of these people that was telling this.
Who's he talking to?
If I didn't say it, then it wasn't happening. Because one, I have enough common sense that it don't matter what people on TikTok, YouTube, or the mainstream.
If he didn't say it, it's not happening. This is your new authoritative news source. This random dude, I don't even know how to just random dude that has a sun visor in his back. Like, what? Is he a limo driver? What's he driving? Like, what? If it didn't come from me, it didn't happen. I feel like I have a certain level, a decent level of confidence when I speak when I'm walking around, but that is next level. If I didn't say it, it didn't fucking happen, bud. Like, what? Reel it in, Chief. Reel it the fuck in.
News say, when something goes down, you will never see it coming. No matter what people try to tell you.
I'll go with that.
How many times that people told you something was going to happen and nothing has ever happened? See, this is why they can call people conspiracy theorists. The way the game is played is sometimes they like to allow y'all to go ahead and push all this fear on the internet so that the word conspiracy theorist upholds itself, right? So when y'all pushing these lies, they can say, look at that person. He's a conspiracy theorist. And that's what the problem is. When something is going to happen, you will never see it coming. You are local. You are gone in the head. And when they call you names of conspiracy theorists, you deserve it. Because then you listen to all this trash, and then you run back and tell your friends and family, oh, this is what's going to happen, this is going to happen, and then it don't happen, and now you looking stupid. I didn't tell nobody nothing was going to happen because I already knew nothing was going to happen. And you would do anything to turn on American people. This is why I don't trust nobody in this weak country. I will never hang around nobody because you don't know
then
what
go to
someone
Baghdad,
will do
tough
to
guy.
you behind your back for money. You don't know because somebody like me, especially an outspoken person like myself, well known around the world, telling the truth about what's going on in the world, I could never allow any of you people around me because there's no telling what you will say or do for money.
I mean, sure, he is right. There's no telling what people will do or say for money. Can't really argue with that. he might have missed the fact that nobody cares. Well, most people don't care if you're called a conspiracy theorist. Like, that's really supposed to be a derogatory term. That's why they call you conspiracy theorists. Who gives a shit if they say that? It's made to make you not think outside of the box whatsoever. Again, just like the other girl was saying, you know, look at you now, blah, blah, blah. Like, having a conversation about something's a lot different than saying something's gonna happen. It's vastly different. To theorize, people theorize. Scientific theory is theorizing. Just because they slap the word conspiracy on it to make it sound like a horrible thing, it's just absurd. And if you want to fall for that lie, well, fucking smart guy and toughest guy, well-known globetrotter in the fucking world, that's pretty goddamn dumb. Like, who's he even talking to? I would never listen to none of y'all. I would never hang around none of you. Nobody ever? Who's he talking to? He just hates every single person on the planet. That's you know, none of you. None. You, me, everybody. If it didn't come from him, it's not real. He wouldn't talk to none of y'all, because that's why they call you conspiracy theorists. And there's no telling what you might do for money. Like, fucking... All right, Slappy. Hey, he really thought he was saying something out there. He said the most load of nothing. I would have to sit there and dissect every word and be like, okay, this is why this is all R-worded. I mean, come on. Like some of it was like, okay, but like, for the most part, dum.
Here in downtown Cleveland, thousands of people were rocking out in totality. We're literally right down the block from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You can look, they're using this as if it were a concert tour, and you got your concert tour locations. We were out here when the sun was obscured by the moon, and I could see what looked like sunset or sunrise off on the horizon. It felt like a cool summer evening out here, and there were just people all over looking up in awe. It's one of the coolest things I've ever seen and ever felt.
I'm just gonna say, I'm jealous. And isn't it quite the coincidence, I'm sure it is, that they got to see it all nice and bright and shiny there. There was a nice NASA tent there. It was at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They were slanging merch. What did I say, Hall of Fame? Hall of Fame. They were slanging merch. They had a big event going on. You know, this is a big place, big situation, and they got it clear as day there. I'm not saying nothing, but you can find that suspect. That's all I'm saying. They sure lucked out at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That's all I'm saying. I mean, that's what was supposed to go on everywhere. Oh, there's gonna be so much traffic. Oh, you're not gonna be able to do anything. And it goes back to, I think I said it in the last video, or maybe I've just been thinking it all week, that it's probably just a ploy to boost the economy. You know, all the fear tactics, this, that, you know, that are actually coming from the mainstream. Another Y2K, another snowstorm, you know, make sure you, I mean, there was a lady, I don't know if she was charged of the National Guard or some government institute for sure, talking about, oh, you make sure you know, fill up all your gas tanks and you know, buy you some extra groceries, and I mean, all of it. If you got money, go blow it on anything you can think of that you might need. Batteries, this, that, and then a little bump to the economy, boom. And who's that help? Sleepy Joe. They do it sneakily. The propaganda will be the economy's doing better because of Sleepy Joe, but it's really because they lied to us about the eclipse being bad.
So this is Tennessee for you. Complete coverage. The government has blocked our view from the eclipse because they don't want to see the rockets that they're firing off. The sky was completely clear a few hours ago, and then planes went by and put chemtrails in the air. The eclipse should be right there. You can't see it though.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it happened for me, too. That's how it happened for me. It looked like, oh, man, this is going to be crazy. Then, boom, all of a sudden, cloud cover. And you are seeing tons of chemtrails everywhere. So, you know, I was saying it right away. I was like, oh, those are remote clouds. They're covering it up. This is crazy. And then I thought to myself, maybe they did it to help us out. maybe they did do it, but not for the nefarious reasons we're all going to come to the conclusion to. Maybe because there was millions of doofuses, myself being one of them, saying I'm going to stare right at it. It's all bullshit that you can't stare at it. And they were like, you know what? These people are too dumb. We're going to have to block this thing because this is going to back up the eye doctors for months, weeks, maybe years. We're going to have a bunch of blind idiots out there walking around not knowing what the hell to do. We want them strung out and dumb, but if they're blind, they're not going to be able to pay taxes. They're not going to be able to work. They'll be coming mooching off us. We're going to have to go ahead and put a stop to this. Because they need to go back to work Tuesday and get it together so we can keep milking them for all their money. But like, not because they care about our health. They care about what they get from us in the long run. New conspiracy theory just dropped.
I'm just a free thinker that believes that the government is using this eclipse to block all our communication and institute martial law. You're not a free thinker. You're mentally ill. You're experiencing psychosis. And you need to be on medication if you think that there's a such thing as demonic portals related to a scientific phenomenon. What the hell is wrong with y'all? Facebook, WhatsApp, Bible scriptures, poisonous gas, demonic portals, religious psychosis. You're crazy, baby.
Why is it religious?
You need to be on an antipsychotic or some type of mood stabilizer because you're out here spreading this information under the guise of free thinking. You're not free thinking. You're mentally ill and you need to go get it checked out. Go see a psychiatrist or some sort of counselor. Y'all are sounding crazy. If you look at that eclipse, the only thing that you're going to be doing is taking yourself to the damn eye doctor when your eyes are messed up because you're going to need glasses or God forbid some sort of surgery because you're going to damage your eyes. Looking up at the eclipse, listening to something that was on Reddit or QAnon. Get on medication. It's easier.
Where do you on Reddit or on QAnon? Where do you go? What's on QAnon? Explain that to me, lady that knows fucking nothing. But whatever.
It's cheaper. It's faster.
The absolute worst kind of person. If you think some things because you looked around and saw some things, you need to go take antipsychotics, and that's a reasonable thing to this lady. Because that's the smart thing to do. I guess Sunny Hostin or whatever the fuck her name is better go get on some antipsychotics because she's a psycho because she thinks this is all from climate change. This girl better get her some help because she's gonna need it. Just the worst. I don't know. Tell me what you think of this person's logic because it's so abysmal that I'll go on an hour rant about it. It's just so frustrating listening to these people talk that think they have it figured out when they have almost nothing figured out. I hate the term free thinker, it's so cliche, but it's just having a brain that has thoughts. You see things, you think about them, you conversate about them. That's too much. If you're doing that, you need to be on antipsychotics and get therapy because you're mentally ill. They told you on the news what you need to know. That's the end of your thinking because they said so. And if you do more than that, you need antipsychotics because you have a mental problem. That's the logic. That's the logic. It's madness. It's crazy that these people exist. This country needs to split up. Those people and the not those people. That's it. That's the line right there. And if you think peanut butter is a gender, you're on that side. Like shit like that. You know, like it's wild. It comes down to a state of mind. You're in that state of mind or you're not. Shoot, people like that can't go exist with people that, well, aren't like that. You know what I mean? If you're thinking like I'm thinking, like, hey, you can have a conversation. And you're thinking like, oh my God, no, you're thinking things that weren't just told me on the news. And if you do think those things, you need antipsychotics and therapy because you're mentally ill. We're never getting along. We're never having a conversation to come to some kind of a reason. Sure shit not having a conversation with you trying to make you understand because there is no reasoning with an unreasonable person. So there's no point of it. The naysayers that know nothing are the worst. Yeah, it's not true because blah, 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 blah. But also have no clue what the fuck they're talking about. That's most people. Most people. Like, all right. Like, another day in the neighborhood. That's what it is. Another day in the neighborhood, folks.
Did you buy solar eclipse classes for tomorrow's solar eclipse? Because apparently there's a bunch of fake solar eclipse classes. So if you bought one of these fake solar eclipse classes, it's alright because the solar eclipse is fake.
I'd like to know where she came up with this whole solar eclipse being fake. Every bit of it is fake? I think she should have did more on that. It said the PA, Pennsylvania Attorney General, says be on the lookout for scam glasses. Apparently they're selling scam glasses And I think it was probably just a ploy to only buy from them so they could make all the money off it. I mean, come on now. The funny part is, like a week before that, my dad of all people, you're always trying to look for our get-rich-quick scheme. There's literally no truth to that. That was the conspiracy within itself. Like, where'd you come up with that? Because I'm making YouTube videos. Anything outside of punching a clock, blah, 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 is a get-rich-quick scheme to him. He's like, you need to set up a stand somewhere and start selling glasses for that eclipse, blah, blah, blah. People be buying them up. Everyone needs them. Like 2 days later, Pennsylvania Attorney General says be on the lookout for scam glasses. I'm like, jeez. Was he setting me up? Probably not. He wouldn't have had no idea. But boy, wouldn't that have been something? I'm getting cuffed and stuffed over scam eclipse glasses. Damn, what'd you do, bro? Yeah, I got a 2 to 4 for eclipse glasses. Son of a bitch. What the fuck is that?
In an unexpected turn of events, the solar eclipse that captivated audiences across North America is now at the center of a burgeoning controversy.
This is a good
Eyewitnesses and conspiracy theorists alike are flooding social media with claims that the eclipse was not a natural phenomenon, but an elaborate...
Like that lady said in the eclipse video I did. If you didn't see that lady talking about astrology, she's saying... whatever she said, the moon and the sun can't be in this because of astrology reasons that I forget the exact details of, but like this moon should be here and this should be, and I don't know, the whole Pisces and Aquarius and all those things. So it can't be. There's no way this can be happening. She did another video afterwards talking about it, and it's super long. I'll see about maybe chopping it up and getting the meat out of it and cutting off the fat. You know what I mean?
Projection cast upon the sky. In a startling revelation, a video has surfaced that is sending shockwaves through social media. The footage in question appears to show the recent solar eclipse being adjusted in the sky, much like a projected image being aligned for optimal viewing. The conversation has exploded with people all over the world analyzing the footage. Initial assessments suggest a combination of digital artifacting and atmospheric effects could be playing tricks on the eyes. But this hasn't dampened the fervor of conspiracy theorists. What do you think the surge in conspiracy theories surrounding naturally occurring celestial events like a solar eclipse reveal about our trust in scientific explanations? And how does it reflect the ways technology has influenced our perception of reality?
It's like moving your mouse around a little bit. Just boop, boop, just moving your mouse around a little bit. You know, like, oh, we gotta fix that. That's not centered. That video got me thinking, what if? I'm not saying it's a fact, so let's not go saying I need some psych meds. Years ago, Bill Gates, of course, and maybe some other people, but definitely him, was talking about, we're gonna think about blocking out the sun because of climate change, which is absolutely insane, and we both know, we all know that's not the real reason they'd want to do something like that. I don't know the exact reason. That'd be another thing to theorize on, but they talked about it. You know, we need to block out the sun to save the planet, which would absolutely not save the planet, but that's what they talked about. So what if? They're like, hey, we'll just say there's an eclipse going on, because these idiots don't fucking know. We'll go ahead and try out our sun blocking technology, see if we can do it. Just say it's eclipse, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And that's why they had to adjust it a little bit. They're like, I mean, they're probably on like a remote control. Move it a little bit, Like, oh, people are gonna notice. They're so dumb, it's not even gonna matter. And then boom, that's all it was. They were just testing something out. Told everybody, yeah, it's an eclipse. You know, who cares if some of them are bitching and saying this and that? Because they don't care. What are they gonna do, care? They care so little, they didn't even make the vaccine work. Like, think about, I just thought about this like 2 days ago. The big C, you know, the big C of 2020. Like, they could have pulled off the whole thing so much better if they just would have made the vaccine work. You know, like, people are still gonna say all these things, but at least if the vaccine worked, like, they could, yeah, we helped. It didn't even work. It made it worse. It like hurt a lot of people. That's how little they care about what the aftermath is and what you really think. Like, they really could have just made sure that one thing worked and then been like, yeah, no, we really saved people and this was gonna be horrible. That's how little they care about what what you think in the aftermath of whatever nut shit they do. They didn't even make the vaccine work. It's so crazy. Like that one, they would have put a little effort in that one thing. Perception be so much different around that whole thing. That's how little. We don't even give a shit what you think. Hey, that thing doesn't even work. Fuck you. That's what. Definitely keep in mind that it's very safe and effective, and consult your doctor is what I'm saying. That's the point of what I'm saying. Consult your doctor.
Y'all, if y'all are in the Northeast, specifically in Pennsylvania and Philadelphia, and you just experienced the energy of the eclipse, congratulations, but this is not really about that. I happen to be in this energy like kind of all week, cleaning and get myself together, and I do that around every new moon and whenever I feel compelled to, etc. But
exactly, etc.
They blocked out the sun. They see the clouds in front of the eclipse so that you weren't able to visibly view it. There could be a whole bunch of reasons why. I know what my spirit is telling me. I know how many people were looking forward to viewing the actual event. That doesn't change any of the energy that has happened around the event. You know, that we're still in that. But there was such a hype, a sensationalism to view the eclipse, right? And you just have to ask yourself, not if they blocked it, they did. We already know the cloud seeding technology has been around at least 50 years before they announced to the public that they were doing it. But why did they do that at that time? And in your spirit, it's a rhetorical question. You will find the answer as to why. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I know what I know. I obey my spirit, and the things that just seem a little bit too much like coincidences, usually there aren't any coincidences. It's all in the way you interpret things. So it's not good or bad. It's just things we prefer and things that we don't. I don't prefer them blocking out the eclipse because for me, it just raises the questions of what are you trying to filter the people from getting?
Sure.
Right. And again, being spiritual and being tapped in does not mean that there's anything that we missed. Right. Because if you know, you know. But yeah, it's like, you know, they intentionally.
I'm pretty sure what she's saying is like the energy that would come from something like that still got generated throughout the earth. I don't know, the path, the nation, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, whatever you could reap from it was still reaped, I guess.
You see that those clouds and blocked. It's been sunny in Philly all day.
It's always sunny in Philadelphia.
It's been sunny in Philly all day.
Obviously.
Since like 8 a.m. Since it's been sunny. Clouds shine. I mean, no clouds, clear blue sky, sun shining. 30 minutes before the eclipse, the rain clouds started coming, and it was from seeding. The clouds were not natural. They were artificial. I'm not here to debate, argue with your bald-headed mama. It is what it is. Don't be discouraged by that. This energy is still here, and it's going to be here. But just if you were looking for a confirmation before as to who you are, why you are, how you are, whatever, you have to understand people do not work this hard to block you from radiating if they do not know something that you don't. And I'm just going to leave you with that.
Boom. She's just going to leave you with that. And you don't like it, go argue with your bald-headed mama. That is hilarious. And I'm absolutely going to borrow that from her and be using that from time to time. And if you don't like that, you can go argue with your bald-headed mama. Okay, I'm not going to elaborate too much on what she said. I think she had the most reasonable take on it. I like what she said. I think she probably has a point. I hope that she's right. As far as the, you still reap whatever from it. I think that it was blocked for whatever reason to save our eyeballs for the reason I said earlier or whatever. But I like their outlook. So that's where I'm going to wrap up this video. So thank you for watching. If you never hit the sub button, please go ahead and hit that sub button right down there. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit like on that video. And if you didn't like the video, just keep it moving because I don't want no beef with you. That's all, folks.